Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call our meeting to order of the City of Bloomington Utility Services Board for August 24th. And just to remind everyone that our mission at CBU is to enhance the quality of life in our community by providing safe, sustainable, and high-quality drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater services in a cost-effective manner, promoting public health, economic vitality, and environmental stewardship. And our vision is to be the leading municipal water utility organization in Indiana. And with that, our first item on our agenda is petitions and communications, which today includes a formal appeal of service denial at 3704 South Judd Avenue. And is there somebody here to discuss that project? It doesn't look like it. Well, I'll tell you what, we will move that to the possibility of the end of our meeting for another petitions and communications time period. And then the next item is approval of the minutes of our previous meeting on August 10th, 2026. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? They were nicely done.
I move that we approve the minutes for August 10th, 2026.
Do I hear it? So, all right, Jim seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The minutes are approved. Next is approval of our standard invoices totaling $1,237,062.59. Any questions on the invoices? Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, Chris,
Jim.
I noticed that there's a fee of $100,000+ for legal fees for when it's linen. How's that coming?
Hi, Chris Wheeler with City Legal. I can tell you procedurally that there is a great deal of discovery that is ongoing at the moment, and we conducted mediation that the court has received word was unsuccessful, and we are trying to reschedule the trial date for sometime possibly in March. It was supposed to occur in November, but because of additional discovery efforts, differences of opinion between the parties, which occurs quite often regarding discovery, everybody has come to an agreement grudgingly that perhaps the trial should get moved out to sometime more like March. So that's the time frame we're looking at the moment for a trial date. Doesn't mean that we couldn't still find a way to reach a solution for agreement and resolve the matter before trial. That may still happen, but at the moment we're just right in the middle of discovery and trying to move forward with depositions of all the key witnesses, and that's where we are right now.
So the more time, the more legal fees. The more legal fees, the less it's likely that we're going to get a
Not going to see is,
positive.
yeah, you see some, you'll see. The nice thing is that the statute does provide for the opportunity for the court to award us our legal fees. So we do have that,
Good point.
we do have that opportunity hopefully as we move through the negotiations.
Thanks for the update.
Sure.
Anything else on that item? Okay, other questions about our invoices for today?
I move that we approve the standard invoices.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve standard invoices. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, standard invoices are approved. Next is our utility bills for August 13th. $8,200 $19.24.
I move that we approve the utility bills for August 13th.
Second.
And moved and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Then, next round of utility bills for August 20th, $1,861.10. Any questions there?
I move that we approve the utility bills for August 20th.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for approval of utility bills. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, next are our wire transfers totaling $562,000, $5 and, let's see, $562,005.98.
I move that we approve the wire transfers.
All
Second.
right. Been moved and seconded to approve the wire transfers. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Wire transfers are approved. Next are customer refunds in the amount of $2,920.72. Questions for the refunds? For clearing out some inactive accounts and others?
I move that we approve the customer refunds.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Refunds are approved. Next is the special check run totaling $7,215.92. Any questions on those?
I move that we approve the special check run.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Special check run is approved. All right, we have consent agenda, and who'll be presenting that this evening? All right, Matt.
Matt Heady, Assistant Director for Finance. I'm going to present the consent agenda this evening with 3 items totaling $18,816.83. The first one was with McAllister for $4,273 to do some generator repairs at Blucher. The second is another McAllister for $2,543.83 to work on the block heater, or to replace the block heater for the West Booster generator. And the final one is with KLM Engineering for $12,000 for tank inspections at Monroe Treatment Plant and our Dillman Treatment Plant. Would any board member like to pull any of these items from the consent agenda and discuss them individually? Hearing none, if there is no objection, then the consent agenda will be approved as presented. Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Matt. Item 6 on our agenda is requesting approval of an agreement, a water supply contract agreement with the state of Indiana.
Good afternoon. Chris Wheeler with City Legal. The contract before the board is the renewal, essentially. It's the renewal of the existing Lake Monroe water removal contract that we have with the state of Indiana. We have asked the state to modify the agreement slightly. The terms that we have asked to be modified are the amount of water that we can withdraw per day from the lake. The existing contract is for 25 million MGDs per day, and we have asked for that to be increased up to 30 million MGD per day. And that can be found in enumerated paragraph 1A of the agreement. And then we also asked to extend the life of the contract from 20 years to 50 years. And that can be found in enumerated paragraph 4. Reviewing the contract and comparing it, you'll find that the key remaining terms are all the same. They did add additional language that the state requires on their contracts, which are things like E-Verify now, and so the city has to show that they're part of the E-Verify program. different terms and conditions with regards to like I'm drawing a blank, sorry. But mostly it's stuff that would require us just to say we're in compliance with state law and really has nothing to do with the actual withdrawal of water from the lake. So it's just, in my opinion, a lot of boilerplate. Some of it's not even related or relevant to what we're doing, but the state's required to put that language in there just because that's what the state requires for all of their contracts. So the contract looks longer when you compare the two, the original and the one that's before you. But for all intents and purposes, the main crux of the agreement remains the same. And what we're asking today is for approval of that agreement. It is still going through the process of being reviewed and approved by the state. They have changed a great deal of their processes. So they have a couple of reviewing bodies that still have to look at the contract and approve it before it can be signed by all of the various authorities at the state level who have to review and sign it as well. So the time frame right now, which could be subject to change, but the state is very hopeful will be the actual time frame, is to take the agreement to the NRAC for first approval by their September 8th meeting, and then to take it to the NRC for approval at their September 15th meeting. So hopefully, we will see their approvals go through in September and get a signed copy of the agreement back, I would hope, relatively shortly after that time, so that we can then have our mayor and Director Zeiger and President White sign the agreement as well, and then we'll put that contract to bed. Any questions?
Chris, how's the Corps of Engineers fit in all this?
They don't with regards to the withdrawal. That's strictly between us and the state, who has the control over the use of the water in that regard. Where we get in with the Army Corps is with regards to the location of our facilities, making sure that we're within easements, making sure that, because they own the land around the lake, so we're sitting on property that they own. So that's where we negotiate and have to deal with the Army Corps. But with regards to this contract, the Army Corps doesn't have a say in the agreement.
Okay, thanks. Other questions?
I move that we approve the agreement with the state of Indiana.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, contract, our end is approved.
And you'll see it after the state has reviewed, approved, and signed as well. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Next is requesting approval of the service agreement with GAI Consultants.
Hi, Jane Fleeg, Utilities Engineer. This is a request to approve an agreement for professional services for the design of the replacement of the 6th Street limestone arch culvert. It's in the 300 block of West 6th Street, pretty much adjacent to the parking lot for the Blooming Foods business there along 6th. It was determined in the report that we received in January from GAI Consultants that it was in very poor condition and needed to be replaced. So we have put together this contract with GAI to perform the design services, utility coordination, prepare construction documents, et cetera, in the amount of $240,700. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, Jim.
Thanks, Jane. So if the design costs $250,000, how much is the actual replacement gonna cost?
We don't have an actual engineer's estimate yet, but
It's gonna be expensive.
it's going to be expensive, unfortunately.
Anything else?
I move that we approve the service agreement with GAI Consultants.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Jane, I'm thinking for a minute, we do culverts, county does bridges, right? Okay,
Yeah, and this is a culvert. Actually, when GAI did the limestone culvert investigations, it was 6th Street, 4th Street by Wonder Lab, and then there's one that I didn't know about until last year, in Rogers Street, close to where the Army-Navy surplus used to be. They inspected all of those, and the 4th Street limestone arch and the 6th and the Rogers Street limestone arch are in much better condition. Rogers Street needs some retucking of the limestone inside, possibly some concrete pouring around the bottom, and that is actually included in this design as well. We will have the same contractor while they're in town enter into there and get that repaired, those repairs done. But I think we're in good shape for, definitely for 4th Street, and then if we do these repairs for Rogers Street, it'll be some time before we have to look at those again.
okay. Any other discussion? All right, ready for the question?
We've already moved it.
Oh, that's right, we are, all right. It's been moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
All right, next is the request of approval for a service agreement with HNTB for water system design services.
Yeah, Kevin White, Capital Projects Coordinator. I'm actually going to do number 9 first. It'll make a little bit more sense.
Okay?
So this one is for the HNTB, the hydraulic modeling, for a total contract amount of $218,000. And this will allow HNTB to expand our current hydraulic flow model. We have one, but it hasn't been updated in a little while. So we're going to be concentrating on water mains 6 inches and larger. And they'll update all of the current information, tank information, some SCADA information into the flow model, which will allow them to then create 3 future model scenarios that kind of that show our demand. So that will allow us to determine the system resiliency and also for potential locations to do any necessary upgrades to meet future demands. Happy to answer any questions related to that.
Okay, so you want us to approve item 9.
And I can go ahead with 8 if you want me to do 8 now.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So item 9 then is with HNTB for hydraulic modeling and system-wide improvements for $218,000, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. Good. Any questions for Kevin? All right.
I move that we approve the service agreement for the hydraulic modeling with HNTB Corporation.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, it's approved. We'll back up then
Thank you.
to the,
All right, so the second one is also with HNTB for as-needed water system design services. So as a result of the flow modeling, any of the necessary locations that will need improvements, this will allow them to actively start design without having to bring separate design contracts to the board. So this will directly relate to the hydraulic modeling.
okay?
And that is for a not-to-exceed amount of $250,000, but would just be based on an as-needed rate.
Okay, any questions for Kevin on this one? All right,
I move that we approve the as-needed water system-wide design services agreement with HNTB Corporation.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item then is requesting approval of the service agreement with CHA Consulting.
Hello, I'm Dan Hudson, Capital Projects Manager, CBU. CBU, we used a qualification-based procedure, RFQ, RFP process to identify the engineering firms best suited for the Blucher Pool wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation and upgrade project. After reviewing several firms' qualification, including the technical approach, wastewater treatment experience, project team, understanding of CBU needs, we narrowed down to 2 firms, highly qualified firms, and we asked them to submit a RFP. After the RFP review, we found that a firm called CHA Consultants was the most qualified to do the job, and that was for $2.375 million for the professional engineering services. That included design, evaluation, and construction phase engineering. This $2.375 million CHA engineering contract is essentially a roadmap for major rehabilitation of Blucher Pool. It touches more than 30 major plant systems, infrastructure areas, from the headworks, clarifiers through sludge pumping, dewatering, and chemical feed controls and site improvement. The goal was not only to replace aging equipment, but to improve reliability, redundancy, and energy efficiency, operator safety, and maintainability. CHA will take this project from evaluation, design, through permitting and construction phase engineering. At this point, I just want to remind everyone that this is a professional engineering contract, not a construction contract. The construction contract is expected to be a separate contract and will be substantially larger than this. I'm open to questions.
Okay. Questions? Good explanation.
Thank you.
They're approving a lot of money tonight.
Is he here? Oh, by the way, Andy Scales from CHA Consultant is here if you have any questions you'd like to talk to the consultant.
Where are they located?
Excuse me?
Where are they located?
Indianapolis. I don't know the address.
Hi, Andy Scales with CHA Consulting. So we're located in Indianapolis downtown in the Capitol building, and then we also have offices in Evansville and Lagodi. We, about a year ago, did an acquisition of Midwestern Engineers. So that group in Lagodi is also part of our team. So we've got in the Midwest area roughly 60 or so employees in the water wastewater space.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Andy, could you tell us some other similar projects you've done around the state?
Absolutely. So we're doing very similar work right now for the town of Jasper, Boonville, Indiana, city of Boonville, city of Washington. We are doing some work up in Culver, getting ready to kick off with that. We've got a large project in Richmond, Indiana, that we're doing similar work for. So a lot of that here locally, and then CHA as a company is mostly all parts of the eastern United States. So we're about 2,300 employees. We've got 46 offices, from New York down the coast, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North and South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Indiana, Ohio. So we're well versed in this, and across the organization, we're probably about 250 water and wastewater staff and employees and engineers. So it's certainly
Great.
something we have capacity to jump into. And as a Bloomington resident, historically, I'm looking forward to getting to work on this project.
Great, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions for either of these gentlemen?
maybe a two-part.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
number one, what's our timeline on getting this going? And number two, which might be a question over here, when we're ready for the construction, is that dependent on a sewer rate case to be able to do the projects?
Are working on one, and it will be part of that, yeah.
Part of that,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
The design, we expect this year soon.
Okay.
Within a month or
But
so,
then we're-
depending on the approval.
Hanging to be able to fund the construction.
Yes, we do. We have funds in the budget
Okay.
for this. And actually, we have budgeted the construction too.
Okay,
So we're ready to go. It's just a matter of getting it going. I don't think the construction's going to start until next year. And it's maybe multi-year, a couple of year project. It's a big project.
okay, thank you, thank you.
Great.
I move that we approve the service agreement with CHA Consulting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the service agreement with CHA Consulting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next item is requesting approval of a service agreement with Bluestone Tree Incorporated.
Zach Burnworth, Assistant Superintendent of Blucher Pool. I've been covering for Dillman, Assistant Superintendent, while they were searching for a new one. We're taking on the job of getting the dam cleared down at the EQ basin at the Dillman wastewater plant. So, trying to have Bluestone come in and do that. I walked out and forgot the agreement that had the pictures on it and everything. My apologies.
No problem.
It's clearing the whole south. The south end of the EQ basin is a dam, and they're wanting to clear the south side of it and the southeast side of it. So Bluestone has the equipment, the manpower to do so, and the city doesn't have the equipment to do it, so.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
How many trees are we talking? Is this a large swath of forest?
It's a pretty good swath, but they're all like sapling size.
Perfect.
They're
Perfect.
not big trees at all. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say the max is probably 12-inch, if that, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, and they will be spraying to make sure that it stays cleared.
Okay, any other questions? All right.
Move that we approve the service agreement with Bluestone Tree Incorporated.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. Next then is requesting approval of service agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering LLC.
I wore my tall shoes today, too. I'm not quite tall enough. Kelsey Thatonia, Assistant Director for Environmental. I'm presenting to you today a service agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering for $517,270. So we went through a rigorous solicitation process for our Clear Creek Corridor Renewal Project, which is going to be a reconstruction of the limestone block walls of Clear Creek, where it daylights just at First Street, all the way to Switchyard Park. It's a 100-year-old construction back in the WPA era, so the limestone block walls have been failing for some time in many locations. So this will give us an opportunity to create a safer drainage way with better capacity. We have a vision for more flood storage, water quality treatment, and just a reinvigoration of the entire corridor. So this is going to be a very large-scale project that'll happen over a long period of time, but we are really excited to take the first step to contract out a feasibility study. We had so many wonderful firms submit proposals for this. We initially received 10 proposals that were incredible just through the request for qualifications phase We narrowed it down to 5. I was hoping we could narrow it down to fewer, but there were just so many great proposals. So we had 5 firms come in, do presentations, just spent so much time and effort really trying to get this contract. Chris Urberg, pulled ahead. They are partnering with Ratio Architects, who was the original design firm for Miller Showers Park. The same architect will be on this project, as well as other partners. And we had other department heads in these presentations as well, so we got feedback from other folks in the city. So we're just really excited to get this large project started. I'm happy to talk through more of the scope, or I'm happy to answer questions you might have.
Anyone have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Are these limestone arches, these culverts, correct? Is that what you said?
It's an open channel, actually.
Okay, so is this, I guess, are these areas similar to what we have at Indiana Avenue, what we ran into over there, or is this a completely different thing?
This will be completely different because this is all an open stream channel, so it's not going underground. There are going to be bridges and other crossings to consider, but this is the downstream section. Jane and everyone here at CBU did an excellent job with that 6 in Indiana, where it went all the way underground, and this is sort of the next phase where it's all daylighted out in the open now, not underground infrastructure.
So are we at risk of having someone designate these structures historic?
Yes. This is in the proposal that they'll be coordinating with state agencies, doing all the consultations needed, assuming that the limestone block walls will be designated as historic. So
We are assuming that they will?
we're prepared to do the work if determined necessary, yes.
And this proposal, I guess, at what point, if they are designated historic, as I recall, Jane's project required a large outlay of cash from CBU to do this. So I understand the need of fixing and repairing and planning for the future of this, but I'm just concerned that we're going to get this designated historic and the number's going to quadruple. So
That is
I'm very
absolutely-
concerned about
Sure.
that.
This is going to be a large project, and there are many things that could make that cost increase. This is the initial feasibility study where they'll do the preliminary engineering, preliminary coordination, just to give us an idea of what we're going to be looking at.
So I guess then for the feasibility study,
Yes.
does this come to light in the when we get this feasibility study back, is it going to outline what the cost of designating these areas historic is going to cost to either us or to somebody else who's got to pay for it?
Yes, so the final product we'll be expecting from this is a preliminary engineering report with 3 design alternatives. So under Phase 2, Task 3, they specifically spell out notable historic buildings and limestone wall features. They'll consult with the state's Division of Historic Preservation and Archaeology. Basically, they're going to look at those 3 alternatives and do a preliminary analysis to basically bring it into the design phase to help reduce the amount of mitigation that may be required, and how much we would like to spend basically to basically what the state tells us that would be required. I'm trying to balance how much it would cost. So.
Okay, thank you.
Just to remind me where this starts and where it terminates.
Yeah. It starts at First Street. There's the Rally Burger just southeast of the Seminary Square Kroger. That First Street is where it opens up. It goes through Dodd Street, Grimes, and we included the section south of Grimes Street because it's still in that limestone block wall. So we're taking that whole corridor, and we're going to design it from start to finish because it makes sense to do all the modeling at once. Construction will probably be phased since it's such a large area, but we're trying to do as much comprehensive study of the area as we can at once so that it's more continuous and as it goes, so.
When was this originally built?
A lot of the WPA era.
30s?
It was in the 30s, so I haven't seen anything on the blocks that would say it. I've seen some other WPA era limestone crossings around the Bloomington or the county that had like a 1930, 1933 kind of etched in the limestone, so it's nearing 100 years.
100 years isn't that bad.
We certainly, I mean, it did its job for so long, so.
Yeah.
But.
Okay. Other questions for Kelsey?
I move that we approve the service agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering LLC.
Second.
Okay, and then duly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
All right, next item is approval of the on-call service agreement with Deckard Land Surveying.
Phil's going to cover this one.
All right.
Good evening, Phil Peden Engineering. So what we've recognized is working with T&D and with Brian Blake, our land acquisition and easement person, as we look at easements and use of those easements, we need to locate those before we get in and do any land disturbance or tree removal, as well as some properties we own that also have trees and other properties in close proximity that would affect where we can bring equipment in. So we saw a need here to just have a land surveyor on call that we could have come out and stake a property line or an easement line for us before we started any construction work. And a lot of times that needs to happen pretty quick, and it's hard to get back to the board. And then there's small amounts, individual here and there, and so we just felt like this was perfect for an on-call.
Not to exceed $20,000. Okay. Questions for Phil?
Move that we approve the on-call service agreement with Deckard Land Surveying.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. Thank you. All right, do we have any old business from the board? Old business from staff? All right, new business from the board? New business from staff? All right. We haven't had any subcommittees since our last meeting, I don't think. We do have a property and planning subcommittee meeting planned for September the 8th for our next meeting. Staff reports. None this evening, all right. Anyone here for public comment, petitions, or communications? Yes.
I don't think that the folks who wished to discuss the decision by the Utilities Department to deny their request for connection have appeared, but I did want to address the board. We had some folks who own property outside of city limits located at 3704 South Judd Street request that we allow them to connect to our sanitary sewer because they have a septic system that's not functioning properly anymore. From their request, it appears that they have the ability to rebuild the system, but it's going to be very costly for them. As you all may be aware and can recall, we have very strict, limited opportunities for property owners out in the county to connect to our sanitary sewer, and they are twofold. If you can voluntarily annex into the city so that you are now a part of the municipal boundaries of the city, then you can connect. Otherwise, you have to rely upon a finding from the Economic and Sustainable Development Department that the development being proposed for a property is strategic economic development that would do two things. It would contribute to job creation for the community at large, not just the city, but even Monroe County, but to contribute to job creation and wage growth, which has not happened with regards to this property. We don't have an administrative remedy for the denial of a connection, so parties can feel free to go straight to court if they wish to try and get a judge to weigh in. So there's really nothing for the board to do in these situations because our rules and regulations are pretty strict. They just say, if you don't have one of these two things going on, then you shall not connect. The bright line rule is property owners of the county shall not connect unless you have these two things, and if you don't, you just don't get to connect. So I wanted to bring those up as a reminder. We referred to this as an appeal. It isn't really, it's just an opportunity for them to come in and express their concerns with the board, but there isn't anything really for the board to do. So I just wanted to remind the board of that role at the moment. So.
And Chris, that's because that property is not
It's not contiguous, yeah. It doesn't share enough, it doesn't share any boundaries with municipal property, so it cannot establish that required 1/8 contiguity of its property lines with the city to allow it to do a voluntary annexation into the city. And the city is not looking to involuntarily annex that property, so there isn't an annexation going on.
And I'm assuming they're appealing because the line runs in front of their property that they could just connect to?
I've not asked GIS or anybody to
Okay.
show me that. They are under the impression, and they could very well be right, that there is a sewer line running in front of their property. They mentioned that they had neighbors who are connected, so I don't know if we have sewer there, but that does not, it has no bearing on whether they can connect at this point in
I just
time.
think it's very unfortunate.
As you know, people might all very much agree with that. It'd be great if we could, but given the condition of annexation these days, the lack of authority that waivers provide, or a sense of security that a municipality might have for waivers, we just don't have a situation where we can allow connections right now.
It's a good discussion, Chris. I think it's one of those things that we've been mindful of, that our rules don't allow these kind of connections, but yet we believe that for the best outcome for health in the community is oftentimes not a failing septic system.
Correct. The state would like to see septics go away and that folks get connected. But the state also doesn't want to see the municipalities grow. So we're kind of in a weird position.
Like, what do you do?
It's a very awkward position to be in, yes.
Yeah.
The only way we could fix that is if we change our administrative rules, right?
Certainly, yes. And that would have to go through a process discussion with the director and probably the mayor.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this evening.
Yeah. So.
Or in the near future.
Probably not, who knows?
Since these were just approved like in January, right? Yeah.
Last year while I was independent.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that update. Any other petitions or communications? Anybody else? Okay, we will stand adjourned. Thank you very much.